Get ready, get ready, get ready. It's Let's Talk Business with Cheryl J. Crusoe, the first hour of our show. My co host, Mr. Derek Blue. This is a very, very special day in Derek Blue's life, one that he shall never, ever forget. So, we're going to take this opportunity to say a little hello to him. He will not be joining us on the show today, but we are in great hands, and I'll tell you why. For those that are tuning in, Facebook Live, thank you so much for taking your lunch break with us today. Please feel free to like and share. You are about to hear some great information that will directly affect you and the Tampa Bay community. This month is National Women's History Month. And we're going to hear about some women who are in real estate, which ties us into our hot topic, women in real estate. And we have a female real estate guru, we have a male real estate guru in the house, and you'll hear from both of them. And let's see, I think Anne was here a moment ago. She'll be back here momentarily. We will be giving you the blueprint. Yes, the first week of the show is Catch the Show that will be all up in your blueprint business. All right, Derek Blue. Ricky, it's their anniversary. If we had gotten with our DJ CEO, we could give him a little musical shout out. Happy anniversary to Derek and Melanie Blue. That's the Blue team. They have Blue Fever, Blue Love. And if I'm not mistaken, this may be their 19th, maybe 19, somewhere between 18 and 20 wedding anniversary. Congratulations to you both. Have an amazing day today. And may God just continue to bless you, your marriage, your love for each other, and the family that He has blessed you to have, and all that you do for the FAP community and as well the Tampa Bay community. Congratulations. Now, there she is. She's going to lay out the blueprint for us, but let me take this opportunity to first say welcome to Let's Talk Business, and R. Thompson.
Hi, so happy to be here, Cheryl. Thank you so much for the invite. And excited for the upcoming events that we're looking at, honoring women in real estate.
Yes, and I am so excited. So excited. And so you're there, our second guest, and he's such a jewel. He knew we were going to be talking about women in real estate. We've been in a meeting just talking about women, and he's just right there as a phenomenal supporter. Welcome to the show, first timer, David Carmena.
Thank you for having me, Cheryl. I think that women in real estate is very important, but overall, I think that women in general, is especially a month that celebrates women is important and so needed.
It is. Women are just important in general. What did James Brown say about women? What is this?
Well, I can't. Can I repeat that on air? I'm just kidding. But women is I think that behind every woman, every great man is a woman. That's a true saying. And sometimes in front of great men are women. So having women in a month that celebrates women is very needed. And our program that we're going to talk a little bit more about today, which is the celebration of women, that's on March 26th, is from 5 to 7, is going to be one of those programs that does exactly that.
All right. And David just jumps right in. But since he has the mic, let's use this opportunity, and we will come back and formally introduce you. But we were listening to you so attentively. Share with us, David, a woman that has been impactful in your life. Who would you like to shout out on the show today?
Well, it's always I think most men would say their mom. Of course, that's the first woman in their life, and really all other women have to meet that standard. I hate to say it, but men are always comparing women to their mom, especially if they've had a supportive, smart mom, and so yeah. But professionally, I think that there's been a couple of people that really help. And one of them is on this line. I tell this on this show, I should say. I tell everyone that I was starting my real estate career, and Ann was my instructor. She actually taught me the game, and so it's an honor to be working with her on the school. And so yeah, when we talk about influential women, Ann is one of them. Ann Thompson is one of them.
Well, you know what? That's a perfect segue, David. Carmena, thank you so much, because Ann R. Thompson, Master of Science of International Real Estate, co-founder and chief learning officer of Painite International School of Real Estate. You'll hear more about that in just a moment. She's a professional speaker and a graduate of the National Speakers Association, and has over, this must be a typo, 35 years of experience in the real estate profession as an instructor. She has worked with various real estate schools and conducted several real estate sales training workshops for brokerages, and co-authored the How to Soar in Sales. It's a training course, and created a boot camp training course. This training has been instrumental in launching numerous successful real estate careers, in addition to teaching Florida prescribed free post-licensing courses, and is a faculty instructor for Florida Realtors. She teaches completing an effective purchase and sales contract, fair housing and diversity, professional standards, goal settings, and business planning. Newly licensed? Now what? And property management and common ownership. The Greater Tampa Realtors awarded Ann with his Pedagogy Award for her valuable knowledge and instructional skills and abilities to bring forward higher professional standards, member satisfaction, and organizational value. She earned a Gold Star Instructor certification from the Real Estate Educators Association. Ann has served on several committees at her local association, as well as the Florida Realtor. She currently serves as a director for Greater Tampa Realtors and Florida Realtors, and is an active community member in the Tampa Bay area. She received the Speaker of the Year Award from the Hillsborough County Public School Board. This recognition was for motivating students on improving critical thinking skills and fostering healthy relationships. David, you hit the nail on the head. If we're going to celebrate Women's History Month, if we're going to celebrate women in real estate, today we celebrate Miss Ann R. Thompson. Hey, Ann.
Thank you. Hey. Thank you. I'm impressed. I gotta know this lady.
If you don't, you want to get to know her.
I'm having a delay.
That's okay. We'll continue to move forward. Oh, it is. It's a longer
Cheryl, I'm having a bit of a delay.
Okay, what we'll do is have you sign out and sign back in, and David and I will continue the conversation until you're able
Did you ask me a question?
Oh, yes. What say you about who this woman is?
Yeah, I think there's Ann is having a delay, and I can tell you right now, there has to be a typo. She 35 years. I mean, she must have started when she was 1, maybe 2 years old, and started teaching right out the womb,
I agree with you. And Ann, I was going to ask Ann if she would just, maybe we can text her if she could try to sign back in on her phone, and maybe let's try her phone versus the device. But that's the thing about technology. And as we still are trying to eradicate this pandemic, we are still living in a pandemic world. Hence the show partially being aired on In Touch News and as well Zoom so that we can invite our guests in. And we have had them from all over the US, David. But we're glad that you're here. And 35 years, that's worth kudos.
Yeah.
Every bit of it. And like you, to a degree, I've known Ann for many years, maybe 30 something years. And so I appreciate having both of you on the show today and motivated me and my daughter and I both to go and take the course. And I'm looking forward to taking it to the next level. So we had a little setback, but it was an amazing course. It was taught at Tampa Park. We had a phenomenal class, and my daughter loved it so much that she became Ann's assistant and the class tutor, and she prepped all of us so that we could excel with our course exam. And I'm so proud of her. Shout out to Mrs. Alana Cuso, Oliver. But back to us talking about the women in our lives. And I thought about this, and there are some people in real estate, and I know you guys are going to be recognizing a lot of them. In the second half of our show, we will be talking about women in real estate. And that's going to be sponsored by both of you and the institution, Painite International School of Real Estate. So I'm excited to hear more about that. You alluded to it at the beginning of the show. But let's just go ahead and talk a little bit about you. And to our radio listening audience, let's give them an opportunity to learn a little more about you as well. You didn't just happen to start this course with Ann. You have taken it to the nth degree. So Here he is, David Carmena, hometown Baton Rouge, currently residing in the great state and city, Tampa, Florida. I love the fact that you shout your pastor out, Reverend Anthony C. White. David is the owner of Carmena Enterprises, Inc., and that is a list of subsidiaries, so listen out. Carmena and Associates Realty Group, Painite Services Global LLC, Blue Vista Homes LLC, Carmena Entertainment and online streaming television station BTV 360. You have to explain that one to us. In his own words, I am passionate about helping commercial and residential customers achieve more of the American dream by becoming real estate investors and homeowners. I have a proactive, analytical, get the job done approach that I bring to real estate. In 2007, I began investing in the real estate market, purchasing and renovating homes in the Tampa Bay and Miami areas. I received my broker's license in 2013 and love working with a group of highly skilled agents specializing in providing quality, responsive real estate services with Carmena and Associates Realty Group and Painite Services Global. Through my new construction company, Blue Vista Homes LLC, we are building new affordable homes in the Tampa Bay area. I strongly believe in giving back by hosting Corner Class Tampa. You want to know more about it? Go to cornerclasstampa.com. A 100% free masterclass designed to teach new investors how to start and win in real estate. I am a GTAR military ambassador, providing real estate services to our servicemen stationed at MacDill Air Force Base. And I'm not busy with my activities in Carmena Enterprises. You can find me volunteering at my local church and food banks. I'll see you around town. David, wow.
Thank you.
You've accomplished a lot. 2007, and it seems like you've been building an upward foundation in subsidiaries that all comes back to real estate. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you. You're right about that. You know, I started pretty much as an investor. I have an engineering degree in ex-military, and I kind of started real estate as, just another way of having another stream of income, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But I didn't realize that it's truly is a service. You are providing a service to your community or to the community at large. And I feel that this is my goal. This is my passion. And when I say that I'm passionate about it, that is a true statement. I wake up and I'm trying to think of how I can help other people learn what I call learn how to play the real estate game. Just this morning, I got a phone call, a text from a friend, and I guess she may have heard the messaging somehow. And she said, David, how, I'm interested. Let me see exactly what she said.
Okay.
She said, we said pleasant dreams this morning, and I'm reaching out because I want to learn more about real estate investing. Is there a class or something I can take? I get that a lot. That was this morning from a very high level executive at her location, at her job. But they don't know how, most I feel may not know how to actually enter into the real estate game, how to win at it, and that's what I'm here to help. Mainly investors, a lot of second people that are looking for a second stream of income, and then also people who wants to make the real estate as a career. And I think that that's what motivates me, Cheryl.
That's what I was thinking. What interests me, and I have a personal goal of wanting to be able to own several additional pieces of property for our family legacy. But that being said, to hear one of your colleagues express that it started out being, oh yeah, this is what I want to do, it would in turn create another stream of income. I wasn't looking to go into another profession, but if you look at the real estate market today, and from when the time I took my course, had I moved forward in it, this is a very lucrative profession right now. And it's a wow. I mean, there's some businesses you go in, you say it's a seller's market, it's a buyer's market. Man, this market today is crazy. And so you happen to be in it. You were in it long enough to now you're the guru in it, and you've used that to do so much. But let me pivot back just a bit, because military career, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
You decided you were looking for another stream of income. Was your first piece of real estate here in the state of Florida, in the city of Tampa?
No, it's actually in Miami. I had another company. I was in the military for 11 years. I wanted to finish my engineering degree. So I got out and went to USF with the idea of going right back in the military. I had no plans on doing anything other than that, but finishing my military career as an officer. Around my last year, senior, senior year, I started working, doing more projects for the doctors that I was working for, repairing equipment, building networks. So I started my another consulting company first, before I started my real estate career. Got burned out, was playing golf 2 years, Cheryl. I mean, every day for 2 years. I sold my company, made a little money. Hey, I'm going to be a golf bum. I'm going to change. Yeah. And a friend of the family, she had a medical issue. She was actually needed long-term care. She had a house in Miami, and she needed someone that could help her with converting and changing that house and actually liquidating the house so she can use it for long-term care. I had some money. I had the desire to do it, and that's what started my career in real estate. Cheryl, right when we finished that job, I mean, literally, maybe it seemed like it was the next day, but it probably was a month, the market crashed. And so the house that was appraised at around $220 was now worth $87,000. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I put all my money in. But being a businessman, I started buying homes 20-30 cents on the dollar. So that's how I really started into the real estate career as an investor, buying homes in Miami. Came here to Tampa and bought a couple of more. and then I decided to get my real estate license so I can learn how to do big better deals. And that's how I ran into Ann at for my first sales associate class.
Now, when was that? When did you take your first sales associate class?
It was in 2010.
Okay, in 2010. So there you are.
And it was at Hillsborough Community College, the Ybor. They had a place just outside of Ybor that they were, I guess, it was renting the space, and Ann was the instructor. And I tell you what, it was a really good class because we had some. It was a class that offered us the ability to do some on-site work. We actually did a field trip to a apartment complex that was being a duplex that was being sold to evaluate real time, and that really stayed with me.
You know what? And I know Ann is one of the individuals that we're shouting out and honoring for Women's History Month. And she, if she's able to come back on, there's some other individuals that she would love to shout out. Ann's mom has played a very, very impactful role in her life. Her parents actually, but her mom, oh my God, she is amazing. And Ann has some incredible stories. And I know when she's able to join us, she will come back and do the same thing. But as I was listening to you and talking about making that first home owner purchase, sometimes it's just opportunities that are presented to you. And the woman that I wanted to shout out today was, her name is Frances Lois Brooks Jennings. And some almost 45 years ago, she was the first woman that I knew to purchase a home. And it was at a time when women weren't necessarily purchasing homes. She was a widow and she had 8 children. But she knew she wanted to do something. She wanted her children to have something better. The family was living in College Hill Homes, which is a housing project. And she wanted to get her kids out of there and into their own home. So I salute Mrs. Frances Lois Brooks Jennings, who happens to be my mother. Her home now is she's made it to her heavenly home. Mm-hmm. But to have someone to decide back then, after having gone through what she did with the loss of her husband and raising those kids, but what was on the forefront of her mind, she wanted them to have more. She wanted them to do better and to aspire to be homeowners themselves. And that's a great thing, because 45 years ago, you didn't hear a lot of that. But right. She did. And so I'm so thankful for her, thankful to God for having blessed us with such a strong woman that made an impact on us, although she wasn't with us, for a super, super long time. But praise God for the lessons that she was able to teach us. So as we talk about
and that legacy piece, Cheryl, is so important. I grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and you heard the Cajun come out. But we grew up, to be transparent, we grew up in a what's called a shotgun home, a duplex shotgun home.
Familiar?
Don't know what a shotgun home is that it's a home that's just straight. It's straight. The front door is lined up with the back door,
and so you can see all the way through it.
You can see all the way through. You can literally shoot a shotgun from the front door to the back, and you wouldn't hit nothing because all of the walls it's just a straight home. It was a duplex. I don't know how we had 5 kids. I have 5 sisters, 4 other sisters, brothers, 5 of us plus mine. I don't know how we stayed in that house. But the point is that we were renting that house before we purchased our first home. And whoever owned that home, I went back about a couple of years back, they are still renting that home. 40 plus years later, still renting that home, still eating off that one investment. Actually, they owned maybe 6 homes on kind of the block. And each one of those homes were up with fresh paint, still collecting rent from those homes. 40 years. Could you imagine if we would leave that to our family, our kids? That is something that will give them a leg up for the rest of their life.
You know what? And that is so very, very true. 3 of our kids ended up migrating to Gainesville, to the University of Florida. my uncle, the late Ed Jennings Sr., was the mayor of Gainesville, and his family, they're all Gators. So at family reunions, they just would find the seniors in the family and just start talking to them about University of Florida. But I said that to say, when I met with I believe it was the director of admissions when our youngest daughter went to the University of Florida, and one of the things he said to me, David, he said, should your daughter decide to attend this university, and we hope she will, for you to have a meeting with the admissions director. They were very, very interested in your child. And one of the things that I said, wow, impressed me was, he said, the legacy of that, and they're with all colleges, most colleges. Your daughter's children, or any of our children that went there, she was the last one to attend. Their children would be able to be grandfathered into their legacy program. And I was telling my husband, we've had 3 kids here in Gainesville. Well, we've paid crazy rent.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't we just purchase a home and convert it, and kids going to that college today? But you know what? It's never too late. One of the reasons I decided to get into real estate was so that I could go back to Gainesville and purchase us a piece of property there. But those are the kinds of things when you talk about legacy, where 45 years later, that same duplex where you lived, someone owns that, and they have paid for it, and they have received a return on their investment, I'm sure 100 times over, 1,000 times over, since it was 45 years ago. But and I'm sure that's what you all are teaching, or will be teaching. Let's see if we were able to get Ann back. She bounced back on, but I think we may have lost her. But we'll go ahead and continue on.
That is so true.
We delved into real estate, but that's what we have to start thinking. What are we leaving for the next generation? Because for my mom to purchase that house, it wasn't easy. I remember the realtor. I remember us working that summer, the kids, we were saving our money. But I remember when it came down to the actual loan and the deed, it was, she's already lost her husband. So she's raising all of these kids, and they wanted to look at our the elder siblings, just in case. And I remember one of the realtors saying, well, yeah, but the oldest daughter that was home at the time, she may want to get married one day, and that would not be, a good risk for them to take. But it was what they went through. Unfortunately, we had an older brother. But it was, the realtor was working with us and was trying to make it happen. But I'm telling you, it took the family to get that home purchase, whereas today you don't have to go through all of that. But they were looking for 3 different levels to ensure that mortgage. And back then, it was a small amount of money. It was a lot, but today to look at it, was like, our mortgage was how much? But today the house is worth a whole bunch more. So you do have to start thinking about that. What are we leaving for the next generation? And I know you all wanted to talk on that a little bit, because we have in our culture, when our parents pass on and the house is left to the children, we're finding, I wrote about this in the Black Pages several years ago, where outsiders are coming in and purchasing a portion of that mortgage from the ownership from the other members, and now there's a fight between the family, or they're selling the house for almost nothing, when your parents or your grandparents have spent years preserving this home to leave you a legacy. And the legacy, we're losing the legacies.
Unfortunately, you're right. A lot of the value that and the pride of ownership, home ownership, is lost to the kids. They think of it as, an ATM. They don't have that sentimental value. They don't have that attachment. A couple things that I thought about as you was discussing. First, the hardship and the extra steps that you had to go through then. Luckily, that's illegal now. You don't have to have 3 levels of generations of income earners necessarily to qualify for a home. That's pretty standardized.
Well, hold on 1 second, because we want you to get all the way through that. but we want to standardize and get some bills paid. So we're going to pivot to our commercial, one of the show sponsors, Moffitt Cancer Center, and you'll hear more about that in our next week's show. But let's pause for a moment. We'll be back in two. Down with the commercials, down with the audio, and down with your virtual background.
Cancer affects everyone, but minority populations are often hit hardest. Moffitt Cancer Center is working to address the barriers that keep some groups from getting the care they need. African Americans develop cancer at a younger age, have more aggressive cancers, and experience worse outcomes than the general population.
While cancer treatment is evolving with precision medicine, who is being left behind? We know for many decades that some groups experience a greater burden of cancer than others. We can prevent it, we can detect it early. It's very beatable when we find it early. I have worked with cancer patients during their treatment. All cancer patients have courage.
So my treatment was about 18 months. I had 3 cancers and 7 surgeries. But my son told me, like, Mom, you're the strongest person that I know. Moffitt saved my life.
During COVID-19, Moffitt is a safe place for your cancer care. Call now to schedule an appointment.
Strong, beautiful women take charge of their lives, and it starts with learning the facts. Did you know that most women diagnosed with breast cancer have no known risk factors or family history? And it's more deadly for Black women than any other race or ethnic group. But it doesn't have to be. If you're over 40, regardless of your race or ethnicity, you need to get a mammogram every year. Early detection saves lives. Talk with your doctor about the best screening plan for a strong, beautiful you.
Champions don't quit, but there's one kind of quitter I admire: former smokers. If you're over 55 and still smoking, or even if you quit years ago, talk with your doctor about lung cancer screening, even if you have no symptoms. It's quick and painless. Lung cancer is the nation's most deadly cancer, but screening can better the odds. Ask your doctor if it's right for you. Together, we can be champions over cancer.
And we are back. Thank you so much for tuning in with us. Oh, I see Ann has made it back with us, David.
Yes, I saw her. Ann, welcome back.
To our radio listening audience, to those who are watching on Facebook, be it Let's Talk Business Facebook page, our guest Facebook page, In Touch News, the studio, or our YouTubers. I still hear some of our music. Voila, technology. And we talked about you. We talked about your contribution into real estate. I don't know if you were able to hear, but I did share. I know one of the women that you would certainly be talking about today would be your mom. She's an amazing woman and has guided you. One of the things I loved about being in your real estate course was the stories you told, you as a realtor, but the life lessons you learned from your parents and your mom, who is just a powerhouse. She is an amazing woman. So, Ann, we are back. David and I have talked a lot, and so we want to hear from you. We want to hear more about this incredible woman. We want to hear about your wisdom and your work. And so let's just start off talking about you and your family. Ann Thompson.
Thank you, Cheryl. Of course, I want to give a shout out to my mom before I go there, because as you mentioned, Cheryl, my stories are true. And storytelling is definitely an important art that comes way back from Africa and us and our family. And my mother, the stories of my mother as it relates to real estate really helps the students solidify the understanding they need to pass that challenging test. So Mom has served well, and she is definitely the inspiration to me getting started in real estate. But I first want to give a shout out to 2 women in real estate, which would be 2 of our 6 honorees on Friday, March 25th. And one is Ruth Bryson. And Ruth Bryson is the broker owner of Bryson International Realty. Ruth is a retired lieutenant colonel from the U.S. Army. And she currently serves as our first African-American female for the Greater Tampa Realtors. And this is the first.
Congratulations. Yes.
And she is the first African American woman in 110 years of the existence of Greater Tampa Realtors. So we salute her, and we know that she is in that position because of many other people, in particular, many other fabulous women that have served as president before. My second shout out is Tina Marie Elian. Tina Marie Elian, she is the broker owner of Florida Commercial Group. Tina is also an affiliate with the Sperry Commercial Global. And Tina has served as a mentor for me. She is a CCIM, and that is a Certified Commercial Investment Member. And it is a designation that is only have 6% recognition globally. And to have a woman in that capacity as it relates to commercial real estate, because women are still a low percentage in serving that industry, serving that part of the market. So yeah, so my shout out to both Ruth Bryson and to Tina Marie Allian. Love them both, and looking forward to honoring them on March 25th. Back to my family, my mom, and one of the answers to a question as to how I got started. I grew up in East Tampa, the Jackson Heights, Bama Heights area. Wilder, yes, Cheryl, no. Wilder Avenue off of 34th, where Oak Park, where the park is located. And at the age of 8 years old, I witnessed my mom and dad talking, and they had such fear regarding what was taking place in our community. A family was being foreclosed on, and their things were being placed on the side of the road. The mother was in tears, the father was angry, and the children were confused. And as we watched this mother dig through those things to get out of the rubbish, the story went that there was a broker in our community that was going door to door telling individuals that he was like urban renewal, could give them loans to help renovate their homes. Unfortunately, he was really a predator. And so he preyed upon the community and the families there. When I heard at the age of 8, the discussion, I picked up the fear in my parents' voice. Unfortunately, many families was injured. Fortunately, he did go to prison for this. A year later, my father passed away after being missing for 2 days. He was found dead in the backseat of our family car off of I-4 near Plant City. Very devastating for our family, losing, the head of our house. That took place in May. As the funeral took place, family members came. My mother has 10 children, 10. Family members came that summer, divvied us up, and we went to various places. When we came back, my mom did something that was amazing, that has been like the foundation for me. She sat us down and she said, and she gave a meeting. So she ran the family like the Godfather. She said, this is how we're going to function now. And she gave each one of us responsibilities. And she also put upon each one of us that was of age to drive to get our license right away. And we had to go with her to conduct business, from the banker to Kilbright Insurance. Everywhere she conducted business, at the age of 14, 15, you went with her to conduct business. She would introduce us so that we would know what to do. At 15, my mom was selling a lot, and it was my turn. I'm the fourth of the 10. I accompanied her at a closing on Kennedy Boulevard. The gentleman handed me the deed and said, here, read this, which was the legal description. And as I'm reading the legal description, it's confusing. And anytime you're not sure of something, it will promote fear. And the fear and the trigger and the memory of the family being put out of their home, I thought to myself, oh my goodness, I need to know this. I need to know this thing, know about real estate so I can protect my mother. Yeah. That was my conviction on that day. At the age of 18, I registered for my first real estate course, but my life has been to educate myself so that I can empower others so that they can protect themselves and protect their legacy. That is my driving purpose for real estate. It was never to become the multi-million-dollar producer. It was all about empowering others with the information and the knowledge that they needed to protect their family. As a result of that, I became an educator so that I can protect my affiliates in the profession on how to do right by the people.
Do right by the
So that's my story.
That's an incredible story. And it really sums up who you are, who the person that I knew and so many years ago. And our stories, our lifestyles are so similar, especially both of us losing our fathers so tragically at such a young age. But it's those moms that just had to step into a role that, through prayer, a lot of prayer, and the village coming in. But just as a mother, there were just certain things you had to do, and some things you had to learn to do on your own. So I thank you for sharing that story. And for those of you who are listening, or if you catch this show while you're doing your binging over the weekend, please share it, because we want you to hear David's story and Ann's story, and they're incredible stories. And now they're using their gifts and fulfilling their purpose to help others achieve the American dream. And for our culture, it has not been easy. You talked about predators from when you were 8 years old. David and I was just talking about the predators who are coming in, taking over the very homes that the two of you mentioned when you talked about the homes that the families own and hoping to maintain, keep it as a result of the legacy. Ricky, do we happen to have one of Ann's videos that we can show our audience, Ann R. Thompson, walking in her purpose in educating others? And if he has an opportunity to get it, he'll let it play. But this is what we wanted to hear from you, and you've kind of already shared with us. What are those life lessons from your mom? She did it right then and on the spot, and took you so that you could understand how to conduct business. That's legacy. But Ann, let me ask you, having gone through that and learned so much at a young age, and witnessing tragedy like that, and seeing, your friends, your neighbors losing their homes, what are some of the things that just tick you off in real estate?
That was that question is really interesting. I don't get ticked off much about anything. I've learned to find treasures out of trash. But I think when I was working on my bachelor, I think one of the things I had to take a personality assessment because my bachelor was in organizational behavior. And one of the things that showed up is I get really annoyed when people do not own their stuff. Mm-hmm. We're not perfect. We will make mistakes. And in real estate, there is so much to learn, to understand, very, many intricate details. You just can't wing it. So mistakes will happen. But when individuals refuse to own the truth or own their stuff, or just say, I blew it, or I didn't know it, so that we can quickly, arrive at a solution and move on. Because it's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. It's just not okay to deny that they were a mistake or to cover it up. That is just not okay. My mother used to say I was her kid that would tell the truth, and it would be overwhelming to me to be caught in the lie. So it's easier for me to say, guess what? I wasn't where you thought I was. I was over here instead. To just get it all out. So that's what gets out the most, is when we make mistakes, or anyone make this mistake and won't own it.
I love that. And there were so many questions we wanted to ask you about, and flip the questions over to David as well. But there's one thing that is not a mistake. The two of you coming together, there you were, 2010-ish, 2012, he's in your class. Fast forward a decade plus, and now the two of you, 2 decades, the two of you are in a business venture together, and we want to hear about that. You guys will have to come back on the show and talk about what makes it work and how you became successful in the real estate market. But we want to hear about what you're doing that's going to help our community in this market today, and what you're doing and how you're doing it. And that would be, and you have the mic. What's the name of the new business venture?
Cheryl, would you repeat the question, please?
What is the name of the new business venture?
Okay, I love this. The name of our new business venture is Painite International School of Real Estate. And David, can share, because the name really foundational for David with Painite, Global Services. But as we jointly was looking at advancing into the school, I asked David, well, what does that mean? And when he shared it with me, I was just overwhelmed. So if you look up the name, the word Painite, Painite, it is a gem, and it's rare. It's exceptional. It is more valuable than diamond. That's what makes it so valuable, is that it's rare. So Painite International School of Real Estate is designed to deliver a rare, exceptional, valuable learning experience to our students.
Okay, David, you found this. You found this gem. Finish it off.
That is so true. So my entire real estate career, I've known Ann has been passionate about training. That she just lives and breathes it. She exudes it. And so about a year and a half or so ago, we talked and we were thinking about how can we help our community. One of the ways is education, and education will not only provide you that secondary stream of income, or potentially a primary stream of income. And a lot of people, you mentioned it before in the show, a lot of people are making a lot of money in real estate. Mm-hmm. So I know we're short on time. Maybe I can share that experience. But if you look at all of the multimillionaire billionaires, they have a real estate component to their portfolio. So this is a way, Painite International School of Real Estate is a way for us to educate our community on how to play the real estate game. And our slogan is that it's not just a school. It really isn't just a school. It's your legacy. It's your family. You are, by learning how to play the real estate game, by being a professional real estate agent or just learning how to invest, you are cementing a solid legacy and something that you can pass to your family. We're passionate about that. We are passionate about that, and that's why we have Painite International School of Real Estate. It's going to be that exceptional training opportunity that someone can learn how to play that real estate game.
Learn how to play the game, coming from two of the gurus. As I hear you talk about the name, both of you just exude joy in talking about this new business venture. Now, on the 25th, that's going to be a special program recognizing women in real estate. And we can come and is that open to the public? David, we'll start with you.
Yes, it is open to the public. We're going to have an Eventbrite sign up. It's free. Okay. It's free often. Space is limited. So once we put the information out, I recommend that you go to Eventbrite and reserve your space. But it is free. We will have an opportunity to celebrate women, particularly women in real estate, but then also we'll have an opportunity to learn more about the real estate process and how you can become a real estate agent in using Painite International School of Real Estate as your school of choice.
Oh man, school of choice. I may have to circle back around to find and finish something I started a few years ago. After the celebration and honoring the women on the 25th, when will you launch Painite International School of Real Estate?
So the school itself is the launch is going to be on the 25th. Actually, it'll be up a soft launch before then. It's a statewide school, and Ian can talk about more about the courses that we're offering. But yes, right around that time.
So on the 25th, guests can actually register for your course. And
Yes, that is correct. And we will also, right now, they can register for the online platform, but we will have a schedule for live courses that they can just sign up on that very day for upcoming live courses. And the courses are, if you're looking to get into the real estate profession as an associate, an agent, the pre-licensing course is on the online platform now. You'll be able to register for a live class on that day. So, just check. We'll be sending out save the dates. Also, once you receive your license, you have 45 hours continuing education. Those courses are also offered. And for those of you who are seasoned for many years, you know that you have to renew or do your CE continuing education courses every 2 years. So we also offer those as well. And we have some upcoming courses that if you decide that you want to transition from working in the residential to commercial, that there's an opportunity. We have a course coming up, or that should be on our platform at that time as well. And then David David, forgive me for taking your thunder, but David does a corner class, Tampa Bay. So if you're looking at investing in real estate and looking at all the moving parts and the monopoly board of it, then you want to definitely, check out Corner Class Tampa that David has. And David will be also, he says he won't co-teach with me, but he also has that passion. So that investment piece, hey, it's going to be a tag team.
oh my goodness,
So
those
I
are two
think
things
I'm
that
sure-
we need to. But
I
David,
think I've
when
been
is your
volunteering.
class offered? When is corner class offered?
It's a bi-monthly class.
Or bi-monthly?
And so but we have 2 seasons already up. So if you go to cornerclasstampa.com, you can YouTube it, go to the YouTube there, or actually www.cornerclasstampa.com. We have seasons up already, and it's surprising. I give all the tea. I mean, there's someone in those classes that is 100% free. We covered almost the same material that I would cover for the people who pay me a lot of money to consult. It really is a free offering, and really will help you how to learn how to invest in today's market. Not some guru that did it 20 years ago. We're talking about today's market with little to no money down. And so I think it's a great offering. But I also want to say that our website for the school is painiterealestateschool.com. painiterealestateschool.com. You can go there and you can register for our online courses, as Ian mentioned. But I started as an investor, Cheryl, and to be quite frank, I made all my money not as an engineer, but as a real estate investor, as in real estate. And so that's why we are passionate about teaching people how to invest and to make it a profession, because unfortunately the Black and brown community is underserved in this capacity. And we talked about it before. We don't have the legacy. We don't give the legacy. We don't have equity. There was a survey that came out a couple of months back about the wealth gap. Do you guys remember that?
Yes.
And how the Black and brown community is $27,000, and it's a couple of $100,000 that the non-Black and brown community has, and the average person cannot. I think it was $500, doesn't have $500 that they can touch in an emergency. That's crazy to me. And so we're trying to just do our.
It's real life. It's real life.
Unfortunately. And so we're trying to do our part, and this is a way that someone who's interested in first a stream of income coming from real estate or a second stream of income, they can easily learn. Ann is a master instructor. I mean, I've taken classes from everyone, and Ann is just phenomenal. So having her and partnering with her is a dream come true for me. I'm the back of the house guy. You know, yeah, I'm talking to investors and we're making these, but Ann is awesome.
Ann is Ann. Ann is Ann, and she's very professional and she's gifted. And I am looking forward to hearing more about this collaboration and what you all are doing in the community. I God willing, I'll be there on the 25th because it's a dual launch. It's a launch of celebration, and then it's a celebratory process of what you all are getting ready to do with the school. And I think that's key, because I remember looking at television late at night, and I think it still happens. I don't do a lot of television late at night, and you would see these commercials and these investors, and they would just be talking about with almost little to no investment. You know, you could be making 6 figures income in no time, and you imagine the people that were just swooning to get that information and to sign up, and they would show the audience, and I would look around, and all I would see was other persuasions, other nationalities, and I thought, wow, we oftentimes are on the tail end of information. But I believe you, David, when you say you're here to help the community.
Yeah, you know, when I started my career, you know, I started at a big box broker. We, in no shade. I mean, there was a great experience. It was a good start, but I was helping people that didn't look like me.
Okay.
You know? And I was helping, you know, so over time, when, like Ann said, I was that multi-million-dollar producer, but I was a multi-million-dollar producer to a community that didn't look like me. And so I want to, all that experience from doing it myself, doing it on a larger scale, I want to help our community as much as possible. And part of this, and I ran from it, Cheryl, I got to be honest with you. I ran from that calling, but I really feel that that's what I'm supposed to be doing in this season of my life. And so, anyway, two of the questions was to delve into how you guys felt you were fulfilling your purpose or walking in your purpose. And it sounds like you both know what exactly it is you're supposed to be doing and to whom you're supposed to be offering your gifts to. And I thank you for this opportunity. It's mind-boggling to me oftentimes when we get engaged in a conversation and an interview like this, and you all have such a wealth of information. And I understand the master classes, but I'm sorry to say you're going to have to come back because we didn't get through everything that we wanted to get through. But you're offering something that at a time today, the way the market is today, you want to be an educated consumer. You want to be able to know when to make those decisions, to buy, to sell, to trade. And it sounds like you all are trying to point our community, Black and brown people, in the right direction. So let me take this opportunity to say thank you for tuning in and joining us as our guest on Let's Talk Business with SJC and my co-host Derek Blue. We do look forward to having you come back. We will make sure to put, and as soon as you have your information and your flyer, send it to us and we will post that in our thank you post. When you come back, you can do final thoughts, but we are officially out of time. So a special thanks to you, Woman History honoree Ann R. Thompson, to you, David Carmena, for helping us making this show what it is today. We look forward to hearing more from you. We'll see you guys on the 24th. Thank you for tuning in to the show. Please remember to like, share, and have the conversation about women in real estate. We're going to talk about fortune teller.
Thank you, Cheryl.
But you got to come to Ann's event. You're welcome. Fortune teller, right here. She amassed real estate in Tampa. This show is a wrap. Bye-bye.
Bye.